Hello and welcome back to another easy online German video training. Some time ago, some of you asked me to make a video about the German personal pronouns, and here it comes. But we're not going to talk about when to use which case of these personal pronouns, because that's what I already told you in my other videos about the different cases of the German declension: nominative, genitive, dative and accusative. But I'm going to show you a method how you can remember all the different forms in the different cases of the German personal pronouns. So let's go through the forms. First, we're going to start with the first person singular, and in German it is ich, and the English counterpart is I. This is of course the nominative form. And the second person singular is du. So the English form is you. In German we use this form for family members and friends. So it's a familiar form, but this is a singular form and not a plural form. The next form is er, and the English word is he. She is sie in German. Es is it. And the last three forms, er, sie and es, were the forms for the third person singular. So let's continue with the plural forms. The plural form of ich is wir. The English word is we. And the plural form of du is ihr. This is also a familiar form. In English you say you, and in German we use it for family members and friends, but this is the plural form. So that's the difference. Ihr is the plural form of du. And finally we have the third person plural, and this is sie, and the English word or the English pronoun would be they. And finally we also have a polite form in German, which is sie, and we have the same form for singular and plural. So we don't have an extra plural form in German. And by the way, the verb forms are conjugated like the third person plural they. The only difference is that you have to write the polite form in capital letters. So the polite form always starts with a capital letter in German. And these were of course only the nominative forms, and we're going through all the other forms now. So we have nominative for the subject of a sentence, and we have the genitive, which is a form that is used very seldom. Then we have the dative. We use the dative for the indirect object of a sentence. And finally we have the accusative form, and we use the accusative for the direct object of a sentence. So we're going to start with ich. The genitive is meiner, the dative is mir, and the accusative is mich. We're going to continue with du in the nominative, deiner in the genitive, dir in the dative, and dich in the accusative. Then we have in the nominative, seiner in the genitive, ihm in the dative, and ihn in the accusative. Then we have sie in the nominative, ihre in the genitive, ihr in the dative, and sie in the accusative. And the next pronoun is es in the nominative, seiner in the genitive, ihm in the dative, and es in the accusative. And finally, the plural forms. We have wir in the nominative, unser in the genitive, uns in the dative, and also uns in the accusative. And we're going to continue with ihr in the nominative, euer in the genitive, euch in the dative, and euch in the accusative. And the third person plural is sie in the nominative, ihre in the genitive, ihnen in the dative, and sie in the accusative. And finally, at the very end, we have the polite form, which is sie, written in capital letters in the nominative, and in the genitive, we have the form ihre, also written in capital letters, and in the dative, we have ihnen, and in the accusative, we have sie again. So the forms of the polite form are almost the same as the forms of the third person plural. The only difference is that you have to write the polite forms in capital letters. And you may ask yourself, but how do I remember all these forms if I need them in the dative and accusative mostly, and of course also in the nominative for the subject of a sentence? And the answer is very simple. Just learn them by heart. That's what we as native speakers also had to do when we had German at school. Our teacher told us to learn them by heart. And of course, he also took one of us in the next lesson who had to tell him all the forms by heart. So it's quite simple. Ich, meiner, mir, mich. Du, deiner, dir, dich. Er, seiner, ihm, ihn. Sie, ihrer, ihr, sie. Es, seiner, ihm, es. Wir, unser, uns, uns. Ihr, euer, euch, euch. Sie, ihrer, ihnen, sie, and the polite form, sie, ihrer, ihnen, sie. And you can also practice a little bit to do it faster. Ich, meiner, mir, mich, du, deiner, dir, dich, er, seiner, ihm, ihn, sie, ihrer, ihr, sie, es, seiner, ihm, es, wir, unser, uns, uns, ihr, euer, euch, euch, sie, ihrer, ihnen, sie, and of course, sie, ihrer, ihnen, sie, written in capital letters. And these were all the forms of the German personal pronouns. Hope you find it helpful, and stay tuned for more grammar lessons here on easyonlinegerman.com. And I hope that you come back for more videos here on easyonlinegerman.com, and for today I say bye bye, or as we say in German, tschüss.